The next two feature we have are related to the high-rise buildings. These are for the fire norms and fire provisions. So if your project is having height of more than 15 meter, these two features will get automatically applicable, and you will have to provide these two layer names. So for the first is exit width staircase. This is a direct dimension layer that you have, and you have to show the width of the exits that you are provide, and the system will automatically calculate the number of exits according to the count and also the width of each. And then we have the exit travel distance. So this is according to the fire provisions, you have to provide the maximum exit allowed, the maximum travel distance that is allowed from to the farthest point of the building. So for that, you will show the dimension using this layer. So if you see the reference file I've sent you, in apartment case, I've shown two exit width, the staircase exit width. The system will count two exits, and it will also check for the width provision of each. The exit width you have to show in each floor, but the travel distance you are required to show it only in one floor. Now moving ahead, we go into the dwelling unit. These are basically required to show the number of dwelling units you have in a project. And obviously it is mainly for residential, but of course hotels and others can also have the different count of rooms also. So if your project has EWS dwelling units, you will use the layer name block 1 floor 1 or whatever floor is, and unit FA. And for EWS, it is color code 1, LIG 2, MIG 1, it is 3, MIG 2, 4. And if you have any other categories of dwelling units, you can use the color code 5. And if it is a hotel or any other project and you need to show the number of rooms, then you can use the color code 6. In the reference document that I've shared, as you can see, I've made each dwelling unit in all the floors to denote the number of dwelling units that are applicable to the project. So in block 1, floor 4, we have unit FA, and I made different dwelling units to showcase each housing unit independently. Then we go into the ramp categories. We have two different ramp features that we have provided. One is the disabled ramp, that is called DA ramp, or the handicapped ramp that we have to provide. If your project is required to make this provision as per the bylaw, then you can use this layer name called block 1 DA ramp 1. The and denotes at the end, it denotes the number of ramp that you're providing. And we have two components. One is the polygon that showcases the entire ramp. It calculates the width and everything. And the second component is the slope. So slope you have to include in mtext, and it should be written the way it is written here. That is 1 in 8 or 1 in 10 or whatever the value it is. We have the same kind of provision for normal vehicle ramps also. We have a different layer name, and we have different types of vehicle ramps as well. So based on your project and the design that you're making, you can use any one of these color codes. And as you can see, we have included LMVs, LCV, light motor vehicles and all, and HMV and fire tender ramps. So the functionality is the same. You have to make the polygon to showcase the ramp, and you have to denote the slope in mtext. So if I see an example in reference file in the housing or apartment project, as you can see, I've included a ramp polygon called block 1 floor 0 vehicle ramp 1, and I've included the slope in the mtext, slope equal to 1 in 10. Now moving on to the next feature, that is interior courtyard for light and ventilation. This is straight away, this is a simple kind of polygon that you have to make. If your project has a courtyard inside the building, you can use this layer name to denote it. The layer name, it is written here, color code is 7, and it's a simple polygon that you have to make around your courtyard. Now coming to light and ventilation windows, like I mentioned earlier, this feature along with staircase and habitable room which are naturally ventilated, these three are optional as of now for the three sub-occupancies: residential detached, residential semi-detached and row housing. If they are coming under low risk, you are not required to make this three features as a mandatory part. It is optional for you. But in case for other projects and in case you are making, you have to use the layer name that is mentioned here. For each light and ventilation, you will use the independent numbering. If there are two windows, then you will use light and ventilation 1 or then light ventilation 2. Just to point out an important difference, in all the other features that we have included, you obviously you will be using the index color. But only for Windows feature, we have included RGB color because it's a constraint here. So in RGB, it is 19, 155, and 72. All the other color codes that we have mentioned, these are index colors. So the way to make this Windows component in the drawing is you are required to make the area of the windows in the floor plan. So as you can see, I've included the width and height of the windows. So this thing that you see here, this is the height, the elevation height of the window. We are denoting it in the floor plan because we are calculating the window area and comparing it against the habitable room area to check for the NBC provision. So you have to meet a certain area requirement. So as per NBC, the area requirement should be met for each window that is coming inside a habitable room that is naturally ventilated. So for that, you will be making different windows inside the layer name called habitable room naturally ventilated. Whenever you are making this polygon for regular rooms such as drawing and dining or bedrooms, you have to make the windows also. And as I mentioned earlier, it is a representation of the area on floor plan. So you'll be making the width and the height. The next two features are related to solar photovoltaic panels and water heating system. These two are quite similar. They have individual layer names and also the color code, but the working is quite similar. You have to denote the solar panels and the solar water heating on your plan. You have to make the polygon, and inside the plan info there's a specific question that we are asking for the capacity of both for solar panel as well as solar water heating. So these are the two things that you have to do. You have to make the polygon in floor plan and you have to answer the question asked in plan info if according to your plot size for solar panels and solar water system if it is applicable to your project.